Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
pretty good. How's it going?
I'm doing all right, doing all right. Um,
Nice.
so I think you saw my messages, the two things I wanted to chat
Yep,
about
yep,
today. So did you get a chance to
yep.
download that stuff?
Some
Cool.
Mario stuff and then Marth
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Don't want to spend too long on the Mario. I was just playing a Mario on unranked, and I know I would have destroyed them if I could have just edge guarded
Yeah.
ever. But yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple things with the Mario thing.
Uh huh.
But I have some bad news, which is I don't think Mario can really be edge guarded that
Damn it.
consistently. um, but I don't think you have to in the long run.
Gotcha.
But also, I think that the way that this Mario is recovering, you could have killed him a few times.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
the main two things I have, so let me boom, Mario edge guard. So my like edge guard flowchart generally versus everyone is deal with the double jump and then deal with up B. So like how they double jump is gonna like dictate whether or not you can edge guard them consistently. So Mario will tend to like fall with fireballs and then eventually use his double jump as some sort of mix up near the ledge, right? And so you want to ask yourself if his double jump can be killed, either with a read or if it can just be covered like invincibly or something. So that's like the starting point you want to use is like, how do I deal with this double jump? This Mario was almost always doing double jump fireball, which I think is just killable with ledge hop back air on
Okay.
reaction. So if we like kind of watch this, if you can't get there in time, then it's fine. Like this very
Right.
first one, I think you just can't get there, so it's like whatever. But then over here, it's like he falls and then double jump fireball. So this is one where like you went for a back air and missed, but you probably can like YOLO out there, like drop back, no fast fall, double jump back air, and then like up B out here because you're like, you can hit this back air, so you don't have to like back air regrab the ledge. You can just like hit the back air and then recover.
Oh, I see what you're saying. There's enough lag
Yeah.
basically that you just
Yeah,
can
exactly.
do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Marth's side B. Like if he side B is too close, you just back air him on reaction and he dies for it. So like this would be tricky if he didn't fireball because then he can like double jump and he has mix ups of like air dodge or not air dodge and like stuff like that. But right now you can just like raw punish the lag of fireball. So it's just like killable. So that's that one. Yeah, so that is exactly what you do on this one, which is
Okay.
he double jump fireballs right next to you, and then you just hit him while he's still in fireball lag. So that's like
Yeah.
ideal. You just like
And I think that
not a lot.
a lot of times the challenge for me is just like getting to the ledge without getting hit by fireballs, and that time I was able
Yeah.
kind of to get under one, but sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like something like that
Like
happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, I think that yeah, you probably could have just grabbed the ledge there, and then because it's kind of always a challenge, like when the fireball is coming. My
Yeah.
favorite edge guard to do. This is what I do against Dr. Mario, and it basically works against Mario in a lot of spots, but not all of them. Is to do the back air regrab.
Yeah.
And it's like broken. It's like you can like brain off, like spam it, like over here. It goes through the fireball and hits him if they're
Right.
too close, and and here I'm literally spamming it, and then you like steal the ledge from them too. So it's like better than you think. Where if you grab the ledge early, and then as long as you like that's your refresh, you don't like refresh with up B basically ever. You just refresh with that. Then you're kind of like immune to all the fireball garbage that they
I
do.
see.
The problem with Mario's recovery comes when they start doing up B wall jump stuff, and that stuff is kind of like not really coverable
Right.
like with a flowchart. But this stuff, it's like if you grab the ledge right now and are already doing invincible ledge hop back air, this fireball just gets destroyed. And then you re-grab the ledge right now, and then you do a back air invincible. You destroy this fireball, maybe hit him, maybe not, and then re-grab the ledge. And now there's an invincible Falco right here, and he's like, "Ah, shit! You just re-grabbed the ledge." And now he like up B's and he's dead. You know?
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So it's like to cover the like falling fireballs, you just do that. So right now it's like you can grab it now and just start spamming.
And then do that, spam that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes a
so
lot of
see, like
sense.
this fireball would just miss. This one would get destroyed by an invincible back air, and you would be re-grabbing the ledge right now.
Right.
This one would be punished by you just being invincible and seeing him with a fireball. So you just
Right.
kill him. So, that's like the easiest like level one where you just grab the ledge and like spam it. And here, if you would re-grab the ledge, he's dead, right?
Right.
So you did like the correct back air. Imagine, boom,
Just
you
too
destroyed
low.
this fireball. Yep,
Yeah.
and then you re-grab the ledge right now, and then he's like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, same exact thing. Okay.
Yeah, I've had this exact issue where it's like, how do I destroy these and grab the ledge safely, because like you could grab the ledge right now, but it's not like perfect timing.
Right.
So you would like to like have already grabbed it and then use back airs to like kill the fireball. And the back air would just kill him here. Like this
Right.
double jump, neutral B is like too close. This is like too risky to deal with ledge hop back air regrab, and it's really hard for him to like double jump around that back air and just steal the ledge from you.
Yeah.
It's probably just that's the answer. That's like the easy answer you're looking for.
Yeah,
Like,
that's exactly
you-
what I needed to do
Yeah.
to beat this guy. Yeah.
Yep. And then
Okay.
long term, you'll have to find an answer to up you all jump. Which
I'll cross that
there
bridge
is
when
one.
I find a cracked Mario. I don't think that's really happened to me yet.
I've had 2 ranked Marios in my region over my lifetime, so with Koopa Troopa and A Rookie, and so I've just
Right.
like, played this matchup way too much, and I never found an answer to that. I used to like beat A Rookie every time, and there was one time when I checked the damage done, and I did 850 damage, and he did like 240. And
Yeah.
it was last stock, last hit, and I was like, one day I will lose one of these sets, and I will lab Mario edge guards, but
Right.
then I never lost.
Okay,
Dealing
so you
800
just
damage.
win the neutral too hard and then
Yeah, exactly.
don't care about edge guarding. Yeah. Oh, cool.
His life bar is 200% back air kills.
Yep. Okay, cool. That's good to know, actually. Okay, cool. So that's good on that front. Then on the Marth front, then the main things that I think I'm looking for here are so first of all, I intentionally picked a Marth who has good power shields. So I think I know a lot of like the individual good things to do out of power shield, and I think you'll see like I don't often get super stuck out of power shielded lasers in this match. I like move out of them decently well a lot of the time, but then like I still just I don't know the right mix of the play after. I don't know when to do what anti power shield thing, and I don't know, and I'm not super comfortable planning a contingency for every single laser I shoot. Sometimes I just get power shield lasers in like in a state where like it's not good. I can't do any of my anti-power shield stuff because I'm just like short hop to do another laser or something, and then I get lasered out of my short hop, but then I'm like shit, this sucks. So yeah, that, and then beyond that, just more general stuff not related to power shields is just like I think I have a lot of the building blocks for playing Marth neutral, but I don't think I'm putting them together very well. I think I'm like losing stage a lot of the time when I do like laser dash dance, and then I don't immediately get something to whiff punish. Then I'm like, oh, I have to do a retreating laser, and then Marth takes some stage. So I think I'm losing stage more than I should. I'm not getting as many whiff punishes as I should. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this.
Yep. So what are your thoughts on how to deal with power shield real quick?
Yeah, so a few things I know about is like, you shoot the low one, you jump over it, you can do your dash dance, just basically time it so that you can just dash out of laser, just like react to the power shield if you're far enough away and just dash back out of it. Or like if you're close, you can like just do a dash dance that dashes back out of it at the right timing. And then so yeah, there's that. There you can crouch it and then do something quick. You can power shield it back. Those are like I think the main ones that I have practiced. So I don't ever. I wouldn't say ever, but I don't really do the crouch one, and I don't really do the power shielded back one almost ever in like real games. I think the crouch one is pretty good, but I just like haven't fully implemented it yet. And then the take laser dash back is more of like an emergency backup plan for me most of the time. So most of the time it's mostly this one, or the highest laser cannot be power shielded. Oh yeah.
So if you just like, for example, one of the most common sequences against Marth is going to be the retreating low laser into approaching high laser. And that sequence is like completely power shield proof because if he power shields the first one, you jump over it, and he can't power shield the second one because it's a high laser. So real quick, let me just show. Whoops, did not mean to hit start that fast. Let's go to FD. Okay. So there's like a few options I think that are like how you want to think about neutral like while waiting in this matchup. So the rules I like to set for myself is to do to do as many full approaching lasers into dash back as possible. So if you can do a lot of full approaching lasers and not run into moves, and then out of the approaching lasers, like once the laser is out, you do dash back most of the time. So do as many full approaching laser into dash back as close to my opponent as possible. So that's like, if you can do it right next to your opponent. So if I can, for example, land a laser here and then I dash back, that is like generally really powerful. Because like over here, Marth is going to be really incentivized to swing, whether he takes the laser or shields the laser. He's very likely to like, forward smash, jab, grab, forward air, nair. Everything misses. You dodge it all, including dash attack, actually. You can like laser at this range, dash back, and dodge a dash attack. So it's like, I kind of want to land this laser into dash back. But obviously in neutral, you can't just full approaching laser because he'll just like hit you. So generally what I like to say is to land as many lasers into approaching laser as possible. Because have you ever heard people talk about how it beats forward smash? Does this like immediately ring a bell in your head or not really?
No, but I've heard about fiction talking about like how laser into approaching laser has crazy frame advantage. So.
Yep. And this is exactly what he's talking about. So for example, like Drug Fox used to talk a lot about how laser into laser is really powerful. And one of the main reasons why laser into laser is so powerful is that it beats dash attack. So if Marth tries to like dash attack over here, he doesn't have time to dash attack between two lasers. So you can like hold space by doing this. But what Marth can do is stand here and then take laser forward smash. So like if you're too close, then laser is not safe to forward smash, right?
Right.
I'm terrible at this, but yeah. But it is safe to dash attack, right? But laser into approaching laser, because of this like crazy frame advantage, because of the fact that the second laser is coming out faster than normal, then Marth actually doesn't even have time to forward smash. And not only does he not have time to forward smash, it's actually like not close. He has like let's see how many frames he actually has. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's like 10 frames, and that's the lowest laser. So I could have shot the laser like 2-ish frames faster. So he has like barely any time to do like literally anything, right? So we would like to land a laser at like this range over here to be this far away from Marth, and then use this laser to do a full approaching laser, which lands us here. And then we want to dash back, which dodges absolutely anything he can do, and then we can punish him. And from this dash back, you can even just full retreating laser again, and then full approaching laser again.
Okay.
So this is kind of like what fiction says is like your building block for this matchup, is the fact that every time you do this, it's actually better than doing this, because every other laser is like omega frame advantage, and it's like, it feels like a shit ton of pressure when you land this laser and you're about to hit this laser, and then he's like, oh my god, he's about to full approaching laser on top of me. It just like feels like it shouldn't be allowed. Like, why is Falco allowed to full approaching laser repeatedly, because you're just like kind of moving like this. But every time you get away with this full retreating laser, you get to full approaching laser, and that's like really powerful. So to me, the main mix-up I play actually is to full retreating laser. It's generally a low laser every time, because you're just like giving up a shit ton of space, and then you do this laser. You don't really care if they power shield this one, because you're immediately about to full approaching laser. And then my mix up is just, do I full approaching low laser or do I full approaching high laser? And that's kind of it. Because like if I do this into this, he can't like forward smash, and he's about to get hit by a low laser really close to him. And then from here I could like dash up grab or something, for example, or I can dash back and then punish whatever he swings with, right? So it's like, if I get like, if we start here and I do boom, boom, and then I let him swing and then I punish him, or I do boom, boom, and then I just run up and grab him. So that's like level 1 of being like really oppressive. And then at any, like I can do this X amount of times before I decide to go for the mix up, and then I dash dance and then I kill him for swinging.
I see.
Right? And then level 2 is like, a Marth is going to wait for this, and he's going to take the first laser and he'll power shield this one, right? So this laser, he takes it, he just doesn't do anything, and then this laser, he power shield grabs, and then you're screwed. That's when you do something like this, like this. And then from there, it's like the high laser can't be power shielded, and it actually hits Marth standing if you're like perfect, like
right.
But yeah, the point is that like this approaching laser, now you can't be nared on the approach, and you can't be power shielded. So it only loses to like forward smash, dash attack, jab. Sometimes you'll get like raw grabbed out of this, but like generally you're trying to land like where I am here. You're not landing like on top of Marth with this. And then from here, you can dash dance, wait for him to swing, and then punish him or something. So it's kind of like this built-in mix-up of like, you retreat laser, and then you're about to play a really aggressive mix-up from so far away from Marth, like he doesn't really have counterplay at this range. You're about to do this mix-up for free because you're like so far away. And then from here, the mix-up is like, do I run up and grab you, or do I continue to stall out neutral with this? Because like, what are you going to do against like me just
Right.
continuously to play safe, and then eventually you just dash dance. And the cool part is you can dash dance either on this one, which is basically full approaching laser dash back, and sometimes I like literally explicitly like dash back and just wait here until he does something, and then I punish him. Or you can actually dash dance back here, because when you do this full retreating laser into this sequence repeatedly, Marth is eventually going to be like, all right, he can't just do this, and he'll like approach like that. It'll either be like full approaching Nair or full approaching like double fair or something. So it's very common for the sequence. Then you start facing this way. Yeah. So let's do like actually one more time. Okay. So something like that, and then Marth is likely to like swing shit, and then like swing like that. And that's when you're like the dash dance back there is like, see, he like wants to stop you from like no, you're not allowed to just full approaching laser onto me, right? He has to like protect the space in front of him, because over here he can like kind of do it where he like, actually maybe he can't even do it here, but right, it's like like that.
Right,
he wants to stop you from full approaching lasering on top of him, right? So it's like you do this and he's like, wow, I just let him get away with murder. Ah, shit. And then that dash dance is like a free whiff punish, because it's like from like, look how far away you get to play a mix up with Marth over here, right? Like I'm really far away from Marth, but if Marth overextends, like he's dead here, right? Like this screenshot right here is an easy nair.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like looking to play mix-ups further away from Marth than you expect, and like your big gamble tends to be a dash dance rather than an aerial. I think the biggest mistake I see people make when they start to play this style is they do this and then eventually do
that. Well, you'll see.
Never do that.
You'll see me do that because I'm for whatever reason I'm losing stage when this happens. So I'm just like must be doing it wrong. Like I'm not doing enough of the approaching lasers to take the stage back, because I think what it is. But then I'll be like, oh god, I'm getting pushed into the corner. I have to do something, and that's when I'll do that like dare that just gets dash back grabbed all the time.
Yeah.
I
think from the corner, it's definitely harder to play. I do think Marth is pretty good at corner pressuring Falco. So a lot of times you end up having to do like full hoppy stuff, like full hop to the platform, drop down laser, approaching laser, dash dance, up laser, and kind of like work your way in with lasers and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you just try to cheat neutral by like full hop side beat at the top platform or something.
Yeah.
And then that might get you there. Or you like do these down airs more, like the mango like fade back early down airs, which like are not super ideal at like risk reward versus Mars overall, but like nothing is from the corner. So you kind of like you do it because like it's too scary to laser here, and like if I laser here I can't full approaching laser if Marth is like corner pressuring me. So like even a laser is not that good sometimes. Like I laser dash dance and I might die, and like he might just nair drift forward, and then I'm out of stage. So then you just like have to try to fight it out with down airs and like hope that you bait something with the fade back or something. But like the situation you want to study more is like this situation here, because in my experience, most Falcos actually lose from this screenshot right here, which is like the best position Falco could ask for, and where most Falcos lose to Marth, So if you can like solve this situation and win from here 90% of the time, then also your punish game becomes easier, because all your combos lead to like back air into Marth falling into a laser in the corner, and then he like deals with this neutral for a bit, and then eventually he like gets hit off stage or something, and then Marth gets to this position here, and then there's this position, and then he like comes up into a laser in the corner, and then you play this neutral again. So it's like the more that like every single hit leads to this position, and every time you're in this position you win, then the less you care about that, like you kind of lose from the corner, but that's okay.
I had one question about the laser heights. So like just talking a little more precisely than like low laser and high laser. So I know you were talking about the super high laser that can't be power shielded. So I know those ones. But when you shoot the low lasers, are you talking more about like the mid low laser, not like the low laser that doesn't get crouch power shielded? Because it seems like we don't really care about if they power shield our like quote unquote low laser. So if it's like a little bit above that that super low laser that like doesn't get crouch power shielded, is that what you mean when you mean the when you mean low laser, the one that, because it like hits short hop a little more than the super low laser?
I generally just shoot the low one, the lowest one, and that makes it so that he can't crouch power shield. Part of the problem with like saying that we don't care about him power shielding the low one is that we would in theory care if he could dash forward power shield this one, but the lowest laser can't be dash forward power shielded either. So he has to standing power shield or dash back power shield this laser, which we don't care about, because we kind of like gave up a ton of space so that we have enough room to dash forward, jump over the power shield. So that means he can only power shield from this position or further back, right? Or he can like walk forward a tiny bit before he power shields.
Well,
but he can't running power shield this.
So yeah, that makes sense. But then the one option that Marth, when I do that laser a lot of times Marth will just empty short hop at me, like literally just jump at me with a short hop and take a bunch of stage that way.
So like this laser, if he jumps over it, here, let's try to like set it up. Like, actually, I have to start facing this way because 26 sucks. So, yeah, so generally you're not gonna like get hit by this short hop, right? So now it's like you're scared here to like shoot the next laser or something. And then from here he can like up tilt or nair again or forward smash or dash attack. Something like that. Like like that. Okay. So if I were to like brain off, like do my sequence, it might just like dodge him. Okay, I wouldn't down air, but right, because if I like I'm mixing up between approaching low laser or approaching high laser. It's like kind of hard to aim a move exactly where you're going to be. And jump over the laser. This is kind of RNG. Like sometimes you'll get hit, you know. But in general too, you can always like kind of do like the lower risk, like just like laser a couple times before you come back in with your approaching laser. Because it like generally you're not going to like lose too much by doing like laser in place and then approaching laser. Because a lot of the times Marths are actually doing swing in place and dash back way more than any sort of approaches. So you're more concerned about nair in place and dash back than you are about full approaching nair. And like in the long run, then you can do something like this, because like if Marth is like dashing forward with impunity, he's probably leaving himself susceptible to like getting hit, because like like something like this is like not playing to Marth's strengths, where he's just like, dude, he can dash back everything. He's like too powerful. It's like if he's like approaching you repeatedly, the easiest answer is like first kill him for approaching and then go back to like the solid game plan. Because like you can even like turn your back and like back air him or something like that, where it's like you can even like shield now, and then like you might find like a shine out of shield. Like you kind of switch to playing defensive if like Marth is playing too aggro, because like aggro Marth is not like super top tier in my opinion. Like you can kind of just like beat aggro Marth to just be like, oh, he's being too aggro, let's just like put a stop to that. And this kind of sets you up to like you play this way so that Marth starts to overextend, you know. And then you're like, oh, well, the Marth like feels like he has to overextend, but it's actually like not that good to do it. And this does like cause you to deviate from your game plan, right? But it's like for a good reason. It's like we have this game plan that is set up to beat swing in place and dash back, and then if he's swinging forward, you just kill him. Like you stop doing the game plan and you just kill him. And oftentimes that is with nair or something. So yeah. Boom. Cool. But now yeah, so the biggest difference is going to be how like few lasers in place are going to shoot in the long run compared to this, because the lasers in place are almost like de facto worse than doing the retreat approach sequence. And your like aggression should instead be laser dash dance over here, and then laser dash dance or laser crouch. Like I was gonna write that here. So the Marth neutral is like I need like a name for this, but retreat approach sequence slash mix up, because you do like high laser or low laser. That's the mix up. So retreat approach sequence, laser sequence, dash back slash dash dance, or crouch, which is one of the ones you mentioned before. So because like sometimes you're like I mentioned you want to laser as close as possible and then dash back, but sometimes you're already out of range of like forward air, and then you can just crouch, because like you don't really need to dash back to dodge a move because you're already out of range of a move. So you just crouch. So the crouch is like functionally the same thing as dash dance. You're just like in place, and you can probably like tank a dash attack or like a forward smash or something. Because like when you're like true crouching, like soft dash attack doesn't knock you down until like 60 or something. You can just like kind of tank it. So this makes it like most of the time you're actually doing number one. You're just like laser dash back, and every dash back it's like you hold your breath. It's like if he swings, I kill him, and then if he doesn't, you go back to laser if possible, you know. And sometimes it's like laser crouch, approaching Nair, you know?
Right.
And the better you are at dash out of crouch, the better this becomes. Because then you can also like dash back out of crouch, turn around laser, and then go right back into the laser sequences. Or
Yeah.
you can dash forward out of crouch and just snare him and kill him for it. So yeah, so generally it's like these are your big gambles. You're either like, because generally all your hits are going to come from Marth swinging first. If you're acting first, it's probably just laser. So it's like you immediately act out of your laser with laser. And if you're like not acting immediately, you let Marth miss something and then you punish that miss. And if Marth isn't doing anything, you just keep lasering him. Like it's very rare that like Marth doing nothing gets punished by like an aerial. Marth doing nothing kind of gets punished just by laser. And then you might eventually start landing like laser shine or laser grab or something if he's like actually being too passive. But most of the time, like you land a laser close enough and then dash back and he will swing, you know? So sometimes you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure he's doing nothing. I can just laser shine him. And then that's the one time he like happens to SDI your laser away. Your shine misses because it's tiny. And then he like smashes grab and he kills you out of it, you know? So like missing laser shine point blank and getting grabbed and losing a whole stock is what makes this matchup feels like dumb and unfair, you know? Like you want like as little like random dumb options that happen like that against Marth. So it's like laser dashback really prevents dumb options from killing you, because you even mentioned that like even the power shield won't kill you if you're doing laser dashback, because like you'll dash back, eat a power shield, maybe accidentally SDI the power shield away, you know? and then like be actionable on the ground, not in the middle of pushing a button, so you can like react better. Same with crouch, where it's like you'll laser crouch, and then if he power shields that one, you'll probably be fine. And then this sequence is kind of just immune to power shielding generally. So you know that the only time you're susceptible to power shield is when you're doing approaching low laser. That is like the part of your sequence that you are intentionally leaving yourself open to power shield, you know? So then if that one gets power shielded, it's a very easy adaptation. You're just like, oh, I just switched to doing the high laser here, and then I'll be fine. So yeah, because you can see there wasn't really an opening here because Marth didn't really swing. So he shielded, takes laser, shields, jumps, takes laser, lands, shields, takes laser. So there actually like was no chance for you to hit him there. When Marth is just like messing up tech skill, he like can't be hit because like you really don't know if he's messing up tech skill or if he's scheming to like play dash you know, jab. So in game, like I would not have taken any of these openings. Maybe this first nair over here was a shot where if you happen to be dash dancing and he happens to nair, then you get like a cross up down air over here, which like I don't think is like a huge punish or anything. You get like 12%, and then you get to this side of him, and then you probably like do it again or retreating laser or something. You know, like you're just like ready to bait the next swing, because like Falco just kind of sucks. This is another fictionism. Falco sucks below 10%. So like you don't really have combos right now. The only combo you could get is up throw. And I think up throw is pretty good here. I like to tell people, like, if you up throw, you should just defend center stage. And now your up throw will, like, always result in people in the corner. And then you get your laser sequences versus Marth in the corner. If they don't double jump or they don't SDI the lasers, you actually have kind of nasty punishes on this stage off of up throw. Boom. So this is what I do. I short hop up there, and it is, like, brutal. So if he can SDI this up, and even here he can double jump. See how he forward aired? Forward air loses to up air. He just like dies. But if he had double jumped, I just miss an up air and he double jumped. And then he's up here and has to like fall with no jump. And I just missed an up air. I'm in center. And now he's like, oh, I'm kind of scared. He probably like side Bs, and then I just full hop back air him or something. And again, at low percents, I'm probably not going to kill him, because like the juggles are also not that good at low percents. You just like take a back air and run away and then go back to lasering him, you know? But if he does get hit by the up air, you get up air, nair, up tilt, and then nair forward. Like this is almost like flow charted. So much so to where this is almost exactly the same combo. Up air, up tilt, nair, up tilt. It's like the same combo. So it's like a really brutal, like, grab is one of your best openings at 0%, right? Like I landed this close laser like we talked about, where like some of the times on this laser I'm gonna run up grab, more so if I'm in the corner, because I don't have room to dash back and like stalemate Marth forever and have him be screwed. So I could up throw, or I could back throw here too. And if I back throw retreating laser, boom, you know, we have the winning position. So grab is like your best opening here probably, other than just more lasers, because like you could also just aim to keep lasering until he's at 10 or 15.
Right. So I just wanted to ask about this whole sequence. I shoot a bunch of lasers and don't
Yeah.
really take space. Was
Yeah.
that? Would you have done some approaching lasers? Would you have done like one or two approaching lasers in that sequence? Like,
No, but I would have retreating lasered and then approaching lasered
okay.
because I don't really want to approaching laser onto Marth. Right now, if you laser approaching laser, it's like too spooky for me.
Yeah.
You might like get jab grabbed or something, you know. You might even get dash under. Like he might just dash forward out of this laser, and then your approaching laser misses, and then he dash back grabs you or something, you know.
Right.
So you kind of like don't really want to laser approaching laser. So over here, this is fine. I think you probably can like half approaching laser every time, but like whatever, it's fine. So I might approaching laser off this one. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so you do that. So now you've like gained yourself one approaching laser worth of distance. So now you can do the sequence. You only
Okay.
need, this is like the minimum distance required to like do it, you know. So from here, you can either play the mix up off of this laser, which means that you can crouch or dash back here. So like that's like your aggressive options. If you're trying to be spicy off this laser, you crouch or you dash back, and then you let Marth swing first, and he's probably gonna nair or forward air. Like the better the Marth is, the more likely the swing is gonna be nair, just because it's just like better than everything else. Like I don't know if you've ever tried it with Marth, but you can frame one nair and then frame one fast fall, and it auto cancels. So
Oh yeah.
it is like as fast. It's like the fastest aerial he can do, and also the latest aerial he can do, and also it auto cancels, so it has no lag. Like it can't be punished. So if he like takes this laser or shields it and then nairs in place with either drift forward or drift back, like you can't punish it. So like you can kind of play a mix up on his landing if you're like crouching or dash dancing over here. But if he does any other move, like if he swings with jab or up tilt or forward smash or forward air, it's all just like worse snare, you know?
Yeah.
So like maybe you're a little bit afraid of dash attack over here. So it's just kind of like how much of a psychopath is Marth willing to be here? Because if he's like dash attacking here repeatedly, then he starts losing to you doing down airs and shit, you know? Like, that's what, like, you want the Marth to have to feel like I have no choice but to be a psychopath and like take laser dash attack at this range, you know?
Yeah.
So let's see what he does. See how he like takes laser and then short hops in place. Oh, he nairs. There you go. So it takes laser and nairs in place. So if you were dash dancing, you could potentially punish.
Which I kind of was, right? But and then it didn't really.
Shot one. You shot another laser.
Oh.
So this is the one where you would have to dash.
Oh, I
dance
see.
on.
Okay.
But you shot this laser, and
I
now
see.
it's really hard to like react during this laser. Like if you dash dance here, you'd have to basically read the option here out of
Right.
because like what if he up tilts right now? Then you're like approaching as he up tilts, and then you might lose an entire stock.
Right.
So, or dash back, right? Because if he does nair dash back, and you did laser dash dance approach, and then you're like, oh shit, he dash backed, and then I died.
Okay. So it's more replace the standing laser with retreating approaching.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
And it's kind of like if you can, then do it, because over here
Yeah.
you can now because you got this approaching laser. You like have enough space to play neutral, quote unquote, correctly. And if you're like pushed back into the corner and you run out of that space, then that's when you're like your goal changes from like beating Marth into like getting to center, and it could be through a combination of like full hops and rolls and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's how kind of like desperate it becomes. Like the most basic mix-up of all time that will like never go out of style is hold shield until he comes up to grab you and then roll, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and if you get that read correctly, then you get to center, you know? So it's just kind of like you want to get out of the corner somehow, or like you land a grab and you back throw him and now you have center, you know? So it's something like that. It's like a very Street Fighter way to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is also all great if you are thinking about the fact that you just got 14% for free,
Right.
and then like felt antsy. You're like,
I
I don't
did.
think this is going so well. I should
Yeah.
probably just cash in and there, you know. But actually, you just dealt 14% for nothing.
Right.
And this percent thing is like such a big deal if you think about it from like thresholds, because like people are kind of starting to catch on now to how big of a deal like knockdown percent is, which is like 36ish, you know,
Yeah.
in most matchups. But actually, there's like these in between thresholds, like 10 and 20 are not like hard thresholds for anything other than like down air shine works more, you know?
Right.
So like you just got yourself to a percent now where down air shine kind of works. So it is like very valuable to think of it as like every 10% is like a big deal. And like you getting to 14, you're like, I have like shot up in the tier list by now unlocking kind of like certain down air shines, you know?
Yeah.
And so like that way you feel very, and now you're only, you know, 3 lasers away from the next threshold of 20%, which is like nothing really happens other than down air shine is even better now. You know?
Yeah.
And like you can get like nair up tilt like more consistently against aerial opponents or something, you know? So it's like 20% is kind of like better. And then you're just like 5 lasers away from 30%, you know? And it like
Yeah.
feels kind of silly, but like in game, when you're just like 5 lasers away from the next threshold, and then 5 lasers away from the next one. Like it's just like
Yeah.
like small goals that are just like keep you focused and prevent you from doing this nair. Because like if you like were like, I'm hard winning this game, I already got him to 14 for free. Like he did not do anything to stop me from getting him to 14, and now he's pretty close to getting to 20. Like what's his solution to laser in place? Like we don't know yet. So. Yeah, so this sometimes happens where like the first retreating laser gets running power shielded.
Right.
So, yeah. Wow,
this is
actually, I think that's because he's inside of you. Like this power shield bubble is like on top of him. He actually can't do this power shield if he's like further away. That's really
right.
fun.
I think that's why they call it a frame 0, right? Because it's like technically possible, but spacing dependent.
Yeah, that's crazy. Unlucky.
Yeah.
So. This is a spot where like sometimes you just have to scrap. Like when you like can't set up neutral. This is actually like kind of a common problem for Falco, especially against Fox. Where like if this was a Fox, you would never try to retreating laser because Fox just kills you. Like it because more scary than the running power shield here for me. Like I didn't really think of this running power shield as a possibility because you shot the lowest laser. But to me, he can definitely dash attack you here. So or like wave dash forward smash or approaching nair. Like any sort of YOLO option just kind of hits you here because Falco runs away slower than people chase him,
Right.
Like even full retreating, people run faster than you. So when you're like in scrap range and people are like, oh, thank God, I can fight Falco without lasers right now. Let me just overextend into him. And that's when like sometimes you just have no choice but to fight. If the percent is good for you, then you fight. This is like most easily seen at 36 when like a downer in place here is like a huge problem for Marth to deal with, so he can't really like approach because you can like shore hop downer in place, drift forward, you can approaching down air, whatever. But at these percents it's like down air is like a little bit of a problem for him to deal with, but what if he jump nairs at you and then he takes the down air and grabs, so that's kind of a problem. So the like emergency backup moves for Falco, it always comes back to roll and full hop. So, like in scraps, if you don't have any good moves, which means your opponent is at low percent, you probably want to roll in full hop. And that's a little bit worse on this stage too, because full hop is worse on FD than any other stage. But it's still not that bad as long as you like full hop, save your jump, mix up fastball, no fastball, double jump, and then like land with the laser in the correct direction. It's like pretty hard to deal with, and it's like generally better for Falco to escape vertically than horizontally because you're like you're like in there right now, like this is too close to just be like, all right, let's just reset to neutral, because like there's no resetting for free here, like you guys are fighting. So I think Marth can reset for free here if he wants. He can dash back and just give up stage in order to not play a mix up, but Falco kind of like has to play a mix up here no matter what. So yeah, that's like one way to think of it. The other way is just that you got unlucky. This is like a 1 in a million. You actually just mashed out. That's funny. Yeah, so I like this type of combo too. I always say just every Marth combo you do, you should try to get to this. Like this was, could you have gotten a super optimal mango pillar? I don't think so.
I don't think I could have. No, he was too far away. And I didn't get a wave dash out of my shine. Yeah. This was the problem.
Yeah, and there's no way to know that this was going to hit, so this is fine. Yeah. And that's basically best case scenario. And then you get this laser. And then from here, you're basically just default back to one of these three.
Right.
So it's like from here you can either sequence it up, and now you have like 2 dash back lasers in your back pocket. Like I like to think of stage control as like how many retreating lasers do I have, and you have like 2 over here. So this is like a pretty nice position, I think, because like it's very common for Marth. He's going to swing in place and dash back, and like you have to not die to swing in place and dash back until he corners himself. Because like Marth will often think of this as like how many dash back pivot grab attempts do I have here? Because like he has like 2 or 3, and then he has nair in place. And the really good Marths will like not dash back very much here, but they will nair in place a lot here because it's like not punishable. So they're gonna like try to hold their ground here for as long as possible, and then when you finally approach, they're gonna dash back pivot grab you, right? And so you want to like not blow your load early and like get dash back pivot grab, and you don't want to not lose to nair in place. And nair in place, that also means not losing to take laser forward air, because that's the other thing that it's like that's the entire matchup sometimes. It's like they nair, they take laser, they forward air, and if you die to that, that's the ball game, So it's like I don't think that you have much to be afraid of over here. Like our instinct fighting against Marth is that we're afraid over here, but like dash attack and like wave dash forward smash and like full approaching nair, they're just not as scary as nair in place and dash back, you know?
Yeah.
Like if we watch this, see how he shielded and then like just because an approach can work, it's like all this like super safe stuff also would have worked, right?
Right.
So when he does take laser into shield into, does he jump here? Yeah, he jumps. So take laser, shield, jump in place, right? So whatever option he does out of jump here, it doesn't matter. It's not going to reach you over here, which means that all three of these would have worked. And this is kind of like what it comes down to, is that almost every time you pause on a laser, it's not just that one of these would have worked, it's that all three would have worked. it's like you can kind of just spam this one over and over again and then spam this one randomly. And if this is like a jump nair and you happen to do one of these, you might get a punish. If this is a jump nair and you did this, then you just got 5% more in lasers and he's at knockdown percent, you know? So it's like, and then this nair, it like kind of works because it's like doesn't knock down and it's kind of weird and jank, but also could have gone really badly.
Right.
Because that could have been a CC grab, for example, and now you're down a stock, right? So yeah, and you can see how like Marth is like never afraid. This dash back pivot laser, as I like to call it, it's not like a real pivot, it's a backflip laser. You want to try to eliminate this laser from your game. And
I already have tried to.
Yeah, just like replace them with the full retreating laser. It's because do you know about how like they're also slower?
I think I usually do the DB5, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Usually, sometimes the old backflip one slips in that I used to always do.
I like tried to work on the DB5 laser. Just do the full retreating one. It's so much easier, and it like the small optimization of doing DB5 is like way down the line. You know, like like. Once you are beating top 20 players, you can start adding 5 lasers. But like, it's not necessary until literally then. Like, because full retreating, it like doesn't give up anything. Like, it's just so broken. Like, you just full retreat and then you full approach. You know, like it's just like you take the space right back 99% of the time. And then there are some spots where it's like too scary because you might jump off stage, like on Yoshi's story. You know, when you don't have enough room. And then, are you really confident enough to DB5 laser and not kill yourself? So, like, in those spots, I just don't laser. And, like, I know you should, and, like, it is an optimization to DB5 laser. But, like, if you're doing these still ever at all, then just, like, do the full retreat one. Because it's just, like, so much easier. And, like, yeah, because you spend some time, like, running and then you jump. And if you're just... You would already be starting your laser. And like, in fact, the laser would probably be coming out right now. And like over here. And then you just full approach laser and you do a high or low laser that lands right here. And then Marth is like, because like this full retreat laser is not the one that makes Marth like, holy shit, I'm about to die. That's the one that makes Marth feel like, man, Falco's so fucking annoying. And then you immediately do the full approaching one. And that's the one that makes Marth go, you know, like he's coming. But this laser does not make him feel that. Because like the full retreat one is the same as this one, except even safer. And then this one, you can tell like Marth has no fear right now. You know, like he's gonna take this. He's going to forward air. There's actually no mix up here. Every Marth in the world either forward airs here or is bad. You know, like he's just not fast enough. You know, like it would have cost him nothing. Like he just forward air here every time, and it's not punishable. And then this laser again, it's like you're actually too close to full approaching laser and too far to like grab or aerial and punish. So you want like a laser over here so that you can full approach, or a laser over here so that you can like dash back and kill or, like run up grab. But like all this middle range over here it's like kind of awkward where like nothing's really gonna happen. So like you can spend some time here for a little bit and just laser in place. But like Marth is gonna move up to here eventually, and then you should you know dash back or retreat or something. But I would probably try to like half approaching laser off of these, or I would just full retreat, full approach from here. And because like in this spot, you have so much space. Like Marth is in the corner right now, and you're like so powerful. You can like give up center stage, go back to center stage. Like sometimes I like to tell people is you want to hit Marth around here, like from this clip. So like Marth is all the way over here. You're never gonna go hit him over here. You're gonna hit him over here. So you just like continuously do some like random sequences of lasers and dash dances and crouch and stuff until Marth tries to like cross this line, and that's when you're gonna hit him. I like to call it pull pressure against Marth, where it's like you're pulling him out of the corner essentially. This is my favorite clip to kind of show it. And you kind of like punish Marth. Like there's two ways for Marth to run forward. He can either swing forward with either dash attack or nair. both of which have like their associated risk, right? Like if you're imagining a Marth that just goes dash attack, dash attack, dash attack, like that's risky, right? It's not like super free for him to move forward with dash attack, and it's also not super free to just approaching there, approaching there, approaching there. Like he might even get shield shine out of shield if that's what he's doing, right? So moving forward with the move is a little bit risky. And the second way to move forward is just to run forward. And that's what I punish in this clip, where like the thing I hit is moving forward.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like in traditional fighters, how like you have to hold back to block, so you can't walk forward and block at the same time.
Yeah.
In this game, it's like it's a shield button, but you can't move forward and shield at the same time, you know? So I like kind of convince him that I'm not gonna attack, and so he like swing in place, and I'll try to run forward, and then that's what gets punished. So you're like trying to just like draw this thing over here. And another like benefit of this is that you get to cross up aerial instead of like deal with the corner, you know? So you're like, one, fighting a Marth who's moving forward, and two, you get to cross him up, which you don't get to do in the corner because you'll kill yourself by going off stage. So yeah, so over here, I would just say that like just keep messing with Marth with lasers until he wants to like deal with something over here, and eventually like your laser sequence will like you're like locking on like like planes, you know, when they like lock on their homing missiles or whatever, like, and eventually you're like, and then you land the laser right here, and now he's screwed, and you get to play like a really aggressive mix-up. But it like takes a while. You're like you have to keep your like lock on him for like 5 seconds straight, and then it starts to give you the you know top gun.
But it's really more just kind of random factors that aren't always going to be right, but you get so many chances that eventually they're right? Like,
yeah. This laser, like, or this power shield, even, it's like it was a dash back pivot laser and into a dash dance, and that's what got power shielded, and it kind of messed you up. But like if you're like just like running these three, this never happens, you know? Like it makes power shielding so much easier to deal with, because it's just like only this approaching low laser can get power shielded at all, you know?
Right.
Nice. I'm not like super good at this, but fiction. Okay, so did you ever see the tweet I made about timing your laser with Marth's invincibility here?
No, I don't think so.
Trap? What did I call this? Yes. Oh, ledge trapping. Okay. I'm a genius. So the idea here, so I was like, if Falco is like supposed to win against Marth on the ledge, why it like always looks like this, you know? Where you like back air, get forward air, grab, down tilt, lose stock. So generally there's 3 things Marth will do. It's invincible fair, max range fair. So this is like as far as he can go to have his fair be fully invincible. So you kind of like bare minimum, never ever be in range of this. There is like no mix up here. This is invincible and safe on shield. Like you can't defeat this option, you know? So don't ever be in range of this. And then the second way he can do forward air is to do max range forward air. And so this one, he runs out of invincibility, and then he hits this far, which is really far. So this one you can mess with a little bit, because like I'm pretty far away here. But he can hit me even back here if I like take my hand off my controller, you know, if I'm just like standing here, then I can get hit by this. And so that one you can kind of mess with a little bit. And then last is the ledge dash, and ledge dash he only gets like 2 or 3 glint, right? So it's like not that threatening in terms of like invincible moves, but you have to do something. So the biggest thing is a laser can beat all 3 of these if you time it as he grabs the ledge. So when he's ledge stalling, I will time a laser, and if he does the okay, right after this. So first is the invincible forward air. It starts the forward air, doesn't reach me, and as he becomes vulnerable, he gets hit by the laser, right? So I'm out of range of the invincible forward air, and he gets hit. And then the second is the max range forward air, and that one, he just gets hit before the forward air comes out, because he waited for his invincibility to run out, right? And then lastly is the ledge dash, which, while he can have invincibility as the laser's coming out, he doesn't have a move that hits you within 3 frames of glint, so he gets hit by the laser. So the only thing he can do is power shield. But ledge dash 3 glint power shield is like, don't worry about it, you know. So yeah, I think that's what I show here. Yeah.
Oh, that looks
Power shield's,
so Taz actually.
he grabs you and then it combos the grab into the laser. Yeah, and then you can also read any of these options if you want. Like you can forward smash the invincible forward air, you can forward smash the max range forward air, or you can like down air the ledge dash or something. Because like some Marths will do ledge dash up tilt every time, and that's just not invincible. So like you can down air forward smash that, but the laser also beats ledge dash up tilt, so you may as well just laser. Like 99% of the time you should laser. So Marth's ledge refresh takes a little bit longer than a laser because it takes about 30 frames to refresh and it takes about 25 frames to laser, right? So that means that what I do is I wait for him to grab the ledge and then I start my short hop laser. Then my laser comes out, and then if he's going to re-grab the ledge, I wait for him to grab the ledge, and now I shoot my next laser. So, and he can't really mess with that timing because he has to do it invincibly, right, for it to like be a mix-up. So I just get to like loop this laser, like as he's letting go of the ledge, I shoot the laser, and I just do it until he picks one of those 3 options I mentioned to like get back on stage. So it's just laser, 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 laser. Oh, you came back on? You fool! You get grabbed.
Yeah.
So yeah, regular get up is like a little bit of a thing too. Like regular get up power shield is kind of an annoying option because he can like wait, not have any invincibility, and then do regular get up, and then that like kind of messes with our timing.
I see,
you know?
yeah.
But yeah, generally speaking, you always want a laser out as Marth is coming off from the ledge. And the way Fiction has described this as well, he's like, it's not just that it's like a really, really good option against Marth on the ledge. It's kind of just that it's actually Falco's only option against Marth on the ledge. Like, if you don't have a laser out when Marth is coming up from the ledge, you don't really have a way to play the mix-up. You have to stand in like center stage, you know? So this is not a spot to like have creativity. You should just laser every single time, and you should not go for the grab every single time. Sometimes you just laser, he comes up, gets hit by the laser, and you're retreating laser, approaching laser out of it, you know? It like kind of like relentlessly comes back to this Marth game plan over here, where Marth just feels like he can't punish the lasers, can't stop you, tries to overextend into you, and then he's dying for that, you know? Like, we can't have Marth be allowed to swing in place and dash back until he wins the game. You know, so the lasers are like really, really good. And then like this coming up from the ledge has to feel like it just leads into this doomed neutral game scenario. So nice. Yeah, like ledge dash roll should be something that's just like dies. So. Yeah, see how scary it is once you laser shine? Like, even laser shine, so the pressure most of the time, if you do land a laser this juicy, it should just be shine grab. Just because, it's not because shine grab is the best punish, it's actually just because everything else is scary. Once you've shined him, like, you are now actually the scared one. Like, Martha's afraid of grab and nothing else. That's actually like every option other than grab. Like, if you try to late aerial, like, he could nair out a shield and kill you, or shield grab and he might get you, you know? So it's just like, you have to grab here to protect yourself. Not because it's the best way to kill him, because if you don't grab here, you might die. So.
Yeah, Marth is so, like, underratedly good against Falco's shield pressure, actually. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's mainly because his grab is so big and tall. He can, like, grab a frame perfect short hop if he's, like, frame perfect. So.
And he's, like, slides, like, kind of Luigi-ishly, you know?
Yeah,
like...
Yeah, his wave dash out of shield is also really good. So you're kind of like, it's just kind of scary. But grab stops everything except for roll, and then you're not dying to roll. He's just getting it, you know. So, and then the better you get at this game plan, and the better you get at the up throw stuff I mentioned, like up throw always leads to this game plan. Like you never get reversal because you don't do up throw full hop up air. You know, you just up throw, and then you take center, and then he corners himself, eats a laser, and now you're good. You know, so like. You'll start to enjoy grabs a lot more just because they lead to this broken neutral game, you know? One of my favorite clips to show is this Peach one. And then she dies. So in this clip, she dies, but like the big thing here is like she's afraid now to just fall into center. She's afraid. She's blown her double jump. Now she air dodges. She gets hit. And now like imagine I just laser here and then hold center, right? Like she falls here. I land this laser. Now she just got lasered in the corner from an up throw over here in center stage, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like long term what you're aiming for. Like my Marth clips were like best case scenario if they don't jump, you know, you just do short hop up air. But this should be the consistent one where like your up throws just lead to this. And then from here I do retreating laser, approaching laser, retreating laser, approaching laser, dash dance, retreating laser, dash dance, approaching laser, dash back, dash dance, kill him, you know? And then he's like he's the one who looks like he's like struggling a lot more in those cases. Oh, and then one last thing about the ledge trapping. Fiction has talked about this also, and I don't really do this, but if you recognize that you're going to laser Marth out of the air, he says laser dash attack is broken here in the corner.
Oh, I've seen him say that too. I don't really do it either.
Yeah, especially like 60 to 90 or something,
Right.
because like that's dash attack down air and he just dies, and like nothing else kills at 60
Right.
to 90. So it's like pretty nice if you can get laser dash attack, but it's not that necessary because you can loop into the broken neutral. Like this is just
Right.
such a good spot once you're really good at this, to where it's like you don't have to be really good at closing it out from here because you're going to win
Right.
anyways. I tend to just go for the laser grab over and over and
Oh yeah, he weirdly like ledge camps for like 30-40 seconds in the middle of this game,
Yeah.
so we can like skip it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is whatever. You're playing it right. Now, like long term, you can like turn your back here and shield to try to bait something.
Well,
and
yeah. I was just figuring most tournaments have a ledge grab limit these days too, so like I just don't
yeah,
care,
but that
right?
never comes into account. Yeah.
But if
It's only
like
a
you just
timeout.
have to get up eventually, right? I don't have to ever
Yeah.
go down there is the point, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. But I think it's only on timeouts, right? Because the thing is, he can like ledge camp for like 6 minutes and then down throw down till you.
Yeah, it's just it used to be like, what if a Marth was actually going to ledge camp the whole time with a lead?
Yeah.
Like you would eventually have to get them, right? But that's just like not
Yeah.
true anymore, right? You can just stay
Yeah.
up there.
True. This went really well. What happened here? Yeah, so this is the first time you've like done the sequence kind of perfectly, whether
Mhm.
intentionally or not. You retreating laser, approaching laser, and you do the high one, and it's
Yeah.
like it almost literally doesn't matter which of these options you're picking in neutral, because you do retreating laser, approaching high laser, and he misses grab, and you just get a hit. You know.
Yeah.
I think this punish could have been probably forward air or up air.
Mm.
Like, yeah, full hop forward air is probably the best on this stage because you can. Do you know that full hop forward air auto cancels? So you can full hop forward air and then land up tilt, and that's a combo. Do I have? I don't think I have one of these.
I don't think I knew that. How did I not know that? That full hop
Yeah,
forward
it
air?
feels really good to do.
Yeah.
'Cause you just like boom, 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 and then you land, and they try to falling forward air you, but you up tilt them, and that.
Does it
that-
matter if it hits or not? No, right?
It does not. Yeah, you just don't
Yeah.
fast fall. You just full hop
You
forward
just
air.
you just don't fast fall. That's why
Yep.
I've never done that. Okay.
Yep. And then here's an example of up air. So like I do. Okay, this is a different stage. So there's like a platform for the very first one. But then over here, like whenever your combo is over, you kind of want to end it with them like up and out if possible. So I don't really want to down air Marth here unless I can do the pillar, like
Right.
the mango pillar. So here I do falling up air, which is something that like not a lot of people do here as like a combo ender. And now this is the spot where my combo is over with Marth off stage falling into me, which is kind of like the dream. So here I just like read the 50-50 and like forward smash him, but I could have also just covered the double jump after this, right? So
Right.
like really just ending your combos to have Marth be in the corner and then have to deal with the lasers, because like it's the same thing as the up throw. Like all combos that you do should lead to Marth getting lasered in the corner. So
Right.
this combo, it's like you can even just end this combo with jump shine and then like up air and then like fall to the ground, and then you'll definitely get down first, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, this is also fine. You just strong nair and then don't go for more, because
Yep.
if you go for more, you're in trouble here. Yeah, nice. And then you have this, so now you go back into retreat, approach, retreat, approach.
Right.
This is going to be the biggest thing. It's just like this. Like every time you land this, when you loop, retreat, approach, and when you're like, oh, what if I don't have space? You'll know that even in this game, in like a minute and a half that we've watched so far, you have repeatedly cornered Marth and lasered him. You know,
Yeah.
it is like not that hard to corner Marth because most Marth just give it to you for free because they're so
Mhm.
used to winning from here. So you can just kind of like, and every single one of your hit leads to Marth being cornered. So, and every time you come down invincible, Marth is going to be cornered. So there's just like so many times when Marth is cornered, and if you can like capitalize on those, that'll be the biggest thing. So
Right.
yeah, oh, like every aerial so scary.
Yeah.
It's just like, dude, Joey Donuts posted this clip a while ago on Twitter, where he was like punishing Marth's shield grabbing. I think he's Doughy Joe Nuts, yeah. Do I talk to him too much? No. Yeah. So he posted this clip. Marth mains whose entire neutral is mash and grab. I will find you and I will shame you. And my comment is like, I'm pretty sure that even in this clip, right here, he actually could have just gotten grabbed.
Yeah.
So like all your attempts to like be really tricky at beating Marth's grab, you
Yeah.
have like don't like Kadoran just grabs here and
Right.
hits it. That's the only difference, you know. Like this Marth is actually not grabbing too much. He's just not grabbing fast enough, you know.
Yeah.
So right here, it's like you could get grabbed, and then it's like this nair, he could have shield grabbed it, and then
Yeah.
it's just like so scary.
Yeah, I think I know that these are all bad, like these approaching aerials. I just don't
Yeah.
have enough confidence and looping and I think the retreating approaching is probably will help that. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that if I just never do anything, eventually that'll go wrong and I'll get grabbed. Like
Yeah.
that's the like seed of why I'm eventually
Yep.
doing a nair in or something.
Yep. And most of the time that comes in the form of some sort of power shield interaction, where
Right.
like if you do a lot of lasers in place and tell yourself never aerial in, eventually you get power shield wave dash in grabbed or something,
Right.
or like nared, forward smash, something that knocks you down. But this sequence is like way safer.
Yeah.
It's like you will just feel more powerful waiting, and every time you get hit, it'll make more sense to like watch the VOD, pause, and be like, oh, I see why I got hit, and I can eliminate that from future cases forever, you know, rather
Right.
than being like, that felt really random. Because like it won't be that random. It'll be like he power shielded the approaching low laser, or he dash attacked the approaching high laser, you know, and you'll be like, oh, I lost the mix up. That makes sense, you know, or like
Yeah.
I dash back and he overshot dash attack. He's better, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those types of interactions to kind of like make sense how you're losing the mix up over here, and then like they give you the confidence to kind of just keep waiting until Marth does something that's punishable, basically. So
Right.
or until your approaching laser is just right on top of him, and then you grab him or something.
Right.
Nice. Nice. This is kind of a little thing, but the first thing you want to do when you knock him off stage is, have you heard the term babysit? Where you kind of like want to fall with him, threatening
okay.
a double jump back air, and you want to do that as quickly as possible. So like the moment you knock him off stage, you should, if you got those, moonwalk. If not, just turn around, full hop back. Whatever.
Okay.
And then you should like already be over here right now. So this time that you spend standing there should have like it's kind of like a minor optimization, but all you do is like full hop out, double jump back on, and
I
then
see.
you have time to still do what you did here, and like punish this like mix up that he did. But it kind of just like forces him to not hold forward over here. There's like if Falco was just over here right now, he would have been like and he like holds back for half a second and goes back to holding forward. You just double jump back on, you know.
Are you not
or
afraid of like getting double jump fared or something? Or are you outside range of?
Yeah, you're below him most of the time. So like generally you're not even in range of him. Like the fake is good enough. Like over here I would moonwalk, double jump, or sorry, full hop, and then just double jump back on. Like I never even entered his range,
Oh,
you know?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and that like might make him hesitate for half a second of just holding forward the entire time. And sometimes that's the difference maker between his double jump reaching the ledge and his double jump going below, and then you can Marth killer to kill him or something.
I see
you
what
know?
you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and then alternatively, there are Marth who just kind of close their eyes and hold forward the entire time, no matter what. And those guys, you just actually you moonwalk, full hop, double jump back air, and he's dead at 100. You know, and like Marth, like Mango's probably the best one at this. He like looks like a psychopath every single time, but most of the time he's just safe. You know, and then the one time he like chooses to go for it, it just like works out, and it's like a crazy read. But it's like isn't actually that crazy, you know, because like especially like imagine a Falco right here, like right now, like either shine stalling or not, you know, like Marth is like you know.
Yeah.
And then like especially if it's up here, like even like falling forward air, you just like swat out, double jump back on. Okay.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Try to do
I
it
actually
again
think
too.
Marth invincibility is really hard to deal with because I think Marth is really good against Falco on the ledge.
Yeah.
So like if you go on the ledge, it's kind of doomed. So like I tend to like shield and like roll around and stuff and like spot dodge. This is my favorite one. Under here. Yeah. Spot dodge. So
Yeah, so you
I
just
mean,
got to play like an actual mix up with like
yeah.
spot dodges and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, it's just like kind of doomed. So
Yeah. Oh, it looks like we're about at time, so we can wrap it up
Yeah.
too.
yeah. There, I'll just play that. The rest of, oh, nice, perfect. Oh, you suddenly like decided to switch.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't realize how much like I knew it was good, but I wasn't like
Yeah.
making it the foundation basically.
Yeah, yeah. So the easiest answer to this, so like my favorite thing about the sequence is it like clarifies how to outplay your opponent when you're watching it. So over here, like if you do retreat, jump over the power shield. If this is a high laser or a low laser, it doesn't matter because it's really hard to power shield both. Over here, you just dash dance. Play the aggressive mix up on this one, and like he's in trouble. And then this one, if this was a high laser and you dash dance, then he misses the power shield and you're dash dancing right in front of him. And so it's kind of like every single iteration of this sequence like could have been the outplay. So it's like you jump over. This could be the outplay right here. You're gonna dash dance over here, wait for him to swing, and see he nared. Like you were dash dancing this whole time, and then you punish him. And then now imagine this one is a high laser. So you did retreat, approach. If this is a high laser, this power shield misses, and now you're dash dancing right in front of him. And he goes power shield nair or power shield grab, and he dies for it or something, you know? And then this one was just not a retreating laser when it should have been. So now you get hit by this one, which is fine. It's not a big deal. Now you do it again. So like retreat, laser. This is too close. See how you don't have room to full approach and jump over your laser? So kind of like laser. Yeah, again, every time you pivot laser, you're kind of just like stuck in place here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's why it's like, oh, clean. Yeah, this is why it's like long term. The more you do this sequence, the more it just gives you like better VODs to watch because like that was the best sequence to analyze. To just be like, if you tweak one thing, you win. But the rest of it was kind of like, yeah, you're just kind of not doing the sequence, so it's hard to like find something to do, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, real quick, the light shield thing. Is there like do you have like a Noah punish for that? Is there like a trick to dealing with that? Like right at the beginning of when it came back.
Yeah, wave shined him.
Yeah, basically wave shined the light shield, but then he switched to hard shield, and then like my shine whiffed, and then he could have grabbed me, but he didn't.
Yeah. Nah.
Okay, it's just like good.
The good news is I almost never shield pressure Marth, so it just, like, doesn't really come up that much, except for when I'm invincible. So this is like, and then he like, you kind of kept going for one too many shines, and now you're not invincible anymore. So it's kind of scary. You can just like raw grab and then like don't even shine grab because like this beats shine grab even, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So you can try to like wave shine him across, or you can try to like aerial, and that can kind of work too. Or you just raw grab, or you just laser retreating laser repeatedly. That's like the big thing is that like the neutral like being played at like this range over here just like circumvents shield pressure, and like most of the shield pressure is actually Marth doing something out of shield and getting hit for it rather than like you touching Marth's shield, because it's like every time you touch Marth's shield you kind of like got to get out of there now. It's like shine grab, okay, we're out of there, phew, you know. Or like cross up down there again, all right, we're out of there, retreating laser after that, you know. Like it's like 1 or 2 hits max, but really what we want is Marth to miss a move and get hit, you know. So
okay,
and then this could just be the game. So
yep.
No. GG's. Right, so the laser heights kind of goes back to this. The power shield kind of just, you'll note that it just doesn't come up the better you get at this.
Yeah.
So low laser, jump over high laser. That was your stuff that you do. So you'll also note that when you're doing these sequences, you don't really ever need to power shield it back because like, what would you replace with stand there, try to power shield? You know, it's just like the retreating laser jump over it is already like so good, and the approaching laser is, you're not gonna like approaching laser and then power shield, right? Like you're right on top of him, so you probably like don't need that. And the crouch is good because like approaching laser crouch or just retreating laser crouch can be pretty good, and then you just like accidentally crouch the power shield, right? So that can be pretty good too. Take power shield dash back happens when you'll do this, right? So if you like approaching laser dash back and he gets the power shield, then that's fine. But ideally, if you read the power shield, you would have shot a high laser and then dash backed, and then you don't get power shield in there too. So yeah, and then low laser jump over is good, but it's best to do retreating low laser approach jump over rather than 2 lasers in place, which can jump over power shield. Like 2 lasers in place can jump over power shield, but it's better to do the retreat approach.
Yeah.
And then highest laser is still pog. That's so good. And yeah, that was my do as many full approaching lasers into dash back as close to my opponent as possible, and that kind of like is the whole mindset behind like what you're like. If you feel like you're not making progress in neutral while you're spamming this sequence, this is like the mantra that grounds me. It's like I'm spamming this retreating approach to try to get as many full approaching lasers done as possible. It's kind of like you get like a lot of good hands in poker, eventually you'll hit one, you know? Like one of these approaching lasers will be sick, and then you try to do them as close to my opponent as possible, and then once I get a really juicy one, I dash back. And as long as I like keep repeating that to myself, it'll prevent me from like randomly nairing in, randomly down airing in, and like that's kind of like what you're trying to avoid, because that's what gets you killed randomly. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, this is awesome. I think I had a lot of these pieces, but I didn't know which ones were like the foundational ones and which ones were like, just to mix in. So yeah, that's really good. Cool. Just FYI, I am anticipating November might be pretty busy for me school-wise, so I may skip the November lesson and pick back up in December. Like, not 100% on that, but if I cancel for November, that'll be why. But yeah, so cool.
I will see you around. I think, I don't know what next big tournaments are going to happen. You weren't